Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. A few times I've been asked now, what would I do if I was to be making a Jurassic World film or a Jurassic World TV series? For this video specifically, we're going to go over the TV series. I've mentioned a bit about this in the Paleo pod because this is something that's been on my mind for a while and I would love to see. Now the TV series would go back to Jurassic World, like when it was in its working order. Now when I saw that film, I was so excited to see a working Jurassic World. It was really cool and I wish we got to see more of it. Things like seeing more enclosures, because obviously this show will be about zookeepers and the animals at Jurassic World, so we'd get to explore every enclosure that there is there. Unlike in Jurassic World, we only got to see a handful of them. So it'd be nice to just explore all these different enclosures as well as the off-show areas. Now, I'd probably keep this show so it is more focused about the dinosaurs and the zookeepers because they are going to be the main star attractions rather than going around just seeing like the everyday life of the park, like seeing the different entertainment things that are going on. Now, for the animals we could go and visit, there is a lot that we can go and visit. Obviously, we saw a fair few in the film. On the promotional website, there is animals on there that we didn't see in the film, which we could use. And as well, we could use some of those animals that were meant to be in the film and just didn't quite make the cut for whatever reason, which is kind of exciting. So a few of those animals that didn't quite make the cut, which I would love to see and put into Jurassic World. One of them being my top favourite from Evolution 2 is Gigantoraptor. This was meant to be in like a herbivore valley kind of scene and had a very interesting viewing gallery, which I really like the look of from the drawings. It would be an awesome creature to see. Another one would be a Dilophosaurus. Now, this is not exactly a dinosaur, but nevertheless is a really cool creature to see as well. And I don't know how I would really add that. Maybe make like a almost like a Badlands, Scrubland kind of enclosure for it, just to make it interesting. Because it'd be kind of, I suppose, I don't want to say lazy looking, but I can imagine the scene of them just being really just basking all day in the sun and enjoying life. Then we had a prehistoric crocodile, which was an unmentioned species, but the drawing was really cool. It had this kind of like glass walkway cover over the top of their enclosure, so you could stand on top and look down into the water. A bit like a bottomless boat kind of thing going on with it, which is really cool, which obviously I'm going to be posting up on this video for you to see. And then last but least would be probably the Plesiosaur and Ichthyosaur lagoon. I feel like you could add more lagoons and stuff like that because obviously Chronosaurus is also meant to be in this film. But like having the plesiosaurs swimming around as well as ichthyosaurs would just be really cool. And in that scene, there was meant to be an underwater monorail kind of ride, which it sounds pretty epic. And I believe you could make a fair few interesting stories with just those alone. So how would this show look and how would it play out? Now with the looks, the thing I would go for is live action with CGI, animatronics and puppets. I know this will be a little bit more costly, but I feel like it will be just nicer overall to see. As much as I love cartoons such as the Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory, I see a lot of people complaining that all there is just cartoons and things like that. They're not into them and that's why they haven't watched them, which is a kind of shame because they are missing out. But I can understand if you're not a cartoon lover, then you're probably not going to watch it and you are probably going to favor a live action. And that's something that this franchise really needs, is a live action TV show. Now the reason why I'm going for this one, because it's endless stories. These are easy stories. You would just have to look at real life zoos as well as these zoo documentaries I've spoken about, because that is the inspiration. There's endless stories, it really is. Now, with the zookeepers, they are there to add personality to the animals, to make them feel alive, to make them feel real. If you watch these zookeeping kind of documentaries, for example, you would have like a zookeeper telling us how Barney the bear is having a grumpy day, so he's going to cheer him up with a bit of enrichment. And you can literally do the same with the Jurassic World animals. You could say the Styracosaurus, the male we keep separate from the females so he's not bullying them around so much, but we also need to keep him entertained, so they go and make him a piece of enrichment. for him to go and play around. May it be like a ball made of fire hydrants or weaving around. I say hydrants, I mean the pipes that plug into it. I think there's a name for it, but I can't remember. But fireman hose, let's call it that. And you can like wrap it around so it's kind of woven into a ball shape, and you can throw that in there, make little holes either side of it to like put food in, and then you could then watch the Styracosaurus just hitting this ball around his like off-show area and having a good time, and the zookeeper maybe just in the corner of the shot just like turned around like, oh yeah, he's seen this, he's doing well. And it's things like that. It's little stories like that you could do if you wanted to add a bit of drama. You could go to Susie the zookeeper, which isn't having a great time. They're going to have to go and tranquilize one of the ichthyosaurs because it looks like it's not feeling well and they need to go and investigate it. And that's the thing with these kind of shows, they do bounce back and forth. So you'd have your ichthyo story, then you could go to the Styraca story and have a little bit going on there with them making the enrichment, and then you'd probably jump back to the ichthyosaurus, and then you might jump back to a different story, maybe something going on with the T-Rex enclosure. And then you'd finally just finish off with the story being like, well, the ichthyosaur, we found the issue. He's currently in this holding pen, but eventually we're going to bring him back into the group when he's fully recovered. And that's something you could probably post a little bit later on into this series. Anyways, that as much as I'm going to talk about this today. I might do a bit more if you want a bit more, maybe even start making my own kind of stories. I ain't really too sure how to do it myself, but this is how I would love to see a live action TV series for Jurassic World. So let me know in the comments, what kind of TV series would you like to make? Would it be a horror? Would it be a drama? Would it be a documentary series? I'm really interested, and let me know what you think about my series and how I would make it. Something I would definitely love to see. But as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.
What's your story?